Hello, hello, my friends. Christmas has come and gone, and we've got a Caramel Sundays restock happening this Sunday. So today's video, I just wanted to briefly share with you guys what is on my wish list. Now, this month, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The wish list is a little bit small, just because, again, I have 3 kids, and Christmas buying gifts for Christmas is it got a little bit spendy. I don't lament that, but it's always so fun. But yeah, there's just not as much money going around at this point of the year, so I'm keeping my wish list a little bit smaller this go around. However, there are some fragrances that I have seen that are going to be available this month. The restock will be happening this Sunday, December 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You do want to make sure that you're signed up for their text alerts. If you've signed up for those in the past, you don't need to re-sign up. Once you've done it, you're always on the list unless you opt out of that service. But there are some really good fragrances that are going to be offered for this lineup, and I'm excited. There's actually a couple of returning fragrances here. One I have had before, and then there's another one that I have my eye on that I have never tried before, but I thought, you know what, this is the time I'm going to go ahead and give it a go. So if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys my tips and tricks for shopping from Caramel Sundays, as well as just some general information in case you have never shopped with the brand. But for those of you who have, you probably don't want to hear that spiel all over again. So let's go ahead and get into what is on my wish list. I'm going to go ahead and start out with my number one priority. It is the fragrance Winter Woods. Now, I did do a dedicated review on this candle probably about, I want to say it's been within the last 2 weeks. I did initially purchase this candle in a 2-wick last year. In fact, this was probably that fragrance was probably in like my second Caramel Sundays order. I think I started shopping with Caramel Sundays. It was either October or November of 2024. And so I believe that I purchased Winter Woods in the December restock of 2024. And I really like the fragrance, you guys. Fragrance notes on Winter Woods are top notes of orange, nutmeg, fir needle, baked apples, mid notes of birch, clove, cinnamon, and cedarwood, and a base note of musk, tonka bean, and vanilla. Now, this fragrance is going to be available in their 4-wick and their 2-wick formats. The 4-wicks retail for $64.99. The 2-wicks retail for $31.99. You can head on over to the Caramel Sundays website if you want more information about pricing, about how much wax. I do believe that the 4-wicks have 40 ounces of wax and the 2-wicks are around 18 ounces of wax. So a little bit different price point there. They are 100% soy wax, non-toxic, yada, 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 all that good stuff. But I had really good performance out of the 2-wick of Winter Woods, but I love the fragrance, you guys. I actually said in my dedicated review that to me, I get that baked apple note in the middle, but it is not a gourmand fragrance in the traditional sense. Like if you're hoping that this is going to be like an apple pie, it's not anything like that. It's kind of in the vein of like how, say, They're Always Autumn fragrance, which is like Bath and Body Works Autumn, how that fragrance has an apple note, or like Bath and Body Works Leaves, for example. There's an apple note to it, but it's also mixed with like a fresh outdoorsiness. And that to me, like those fragrances are more like autumnal. This to me, I mentioned and said that Winter Woods is like Always Autumn's winter sister. They have, again, they're very different fragrances, but they're kind of in that same fragrance family where you get some baked apple going on in there, but there's like the outdoorsiness of winter with it. I love it. You get some of that fir needle, you get the clove and the cinnamon, but there's tree notes in there, there's birch, but it doesn't scream Christmas tree. It's just a beautiful winter fragrance. And again, it is my number one priority. Y'all, I actually was joking with Sierra the other day. I said, I need to start giving some of these candles that I really love bad reviews because I'm going to shoot myself here in the foot. One of these days, I'm not going to be able to get my hands on a fragrance that I want again because I've given it good reviews. I know it's not just me. Like I know McKenna likes this candle as well. Other people have, but I'm like, we need to start conspiring and saying like, hey, these candles aren't any good because then we can get them all. So I'm going to be really mad, y'all, if you all get your hands on this candle before I can, because I love Winter Woods. So please don't sell it out before I can get a backup of it, because I love this scent so much. So Winter Woods is my #1 priority to get. Another fragrance that I have on my list in the 4-wick is the scent Milk and Fruit Loops. This is another returning fragrance that I have never, I've never tried out before. Now that I have, this is actually one of the things that I was talking to Amy and McKenna about the other day at lunch, was I was telling them that, like, now that I've been buying from Caramel Sundays for a year, you know, when I am purchasing candles, oftentimes I am prioritizing buying new fragrances over ones that I've had in the past, unless I really, really love them. So for example, Winter Woods, I know that I love that scent, so I'm repurchasing it. But otherwise, I'm prioritizing new scents to review for all of you guys. But they have to intrigue me as well. And Milk and Fruit Loops has always been one of the scents that has been on my radar, but for whatever reason, last year there were just other candles in each of those restocks that appealed to me a little bit more. But I know that this is a fan favorite. I know a lot of people love Milk and Fruit Loops, and so I thought, you know what? Let's go ahead and give it a go. Let's try it. Now, again, it's on my list for a 4-wick. It's also going to be available in a 2-wick. I might purchase it in a 2-wick. Top notes are citrus, mid notes are cherry and orange, base note of vanilla and sandalwood. A lot of people have said that it is very, very authentic to, like, is it Fruit Loops? You know, like Fruit Loops with the milk in there. But the milk note is not overly lactonic. So again, this is one that I'm on the fence. If you've had Milk and Fruit Loops before and you are familiar with my fragrance preferences, let me know in the comments section. Do you think I should get this one in a 4-wick or a 2-wick? I would be really curious to hear. But that one I am intrigued by. I do want to get my hands on it. Whether it's a 4-wick or a 2-wick, I'm still a little bit on the fence about. Here's another one that I keep going back and forth if I want it in a 4-wick or a 2-wick. It is the fragrance Salt and Cinnamon. At this moment, I am leaning more towards getting it in a 4-wick, just because when we look at the fragrance notes here, these sound completely up my alley. We have top notes of salted cranberry, warm wood, mid notes of nutmeg and ginger, and bottom notes of sugar butter. There are certain fragrance notes that Caramel Sundays, when I see that fragrance note, I'm like instantly intrigued by. Cranberry is one of those notes. Now, cranberry is actually a fragrance note that I really only typically gravitate towards, I would say, like September through January. Once we hit February, I'm kind of over cranberries. I'll start gravitating more towards like strawberry, blueberry, more of those like spring and summer type of berry notes. But cranberry to me is very much an autumnal and winter type of note. But Caramel Sundays does cranberry so beautifully. Now, I still have their pistachio. It's cranberry pistachio or pistachio and cranberry. I can never remember which order it's in. I still have that in my closet. I have a 4-wick of that in my closet to burn. I do like to burn that candle in January. I also still have their cranberry birch in a 2-wick, which was really, really good. And that was really strong. So that's the only reason why I'm going between wanting it in either a 2-wick or a 4-wick is, do I think I'm going to get through it all next month? I'm not sure. But then also there's the other part of me that's like, what if I really, really love this fragrance and they don't bring it back? I'm going to want it in a 4-wick. So that way, like, I can at least have it hold over. I'm somebody, like, I generally like to finish up my fragrances. You know, I don't like to put like a half-burned candle back, but I will if I love the fragrance enough, but I've grown tired of it, or I'm trying to like transitional into something else seasonally. I am okay with putting candles back half-burned. So I don't know yet, you guys, but Salt and Cinnamon, that is the one that has really, like, that one I'm really, really intrigued by. So I keep going back and forth. Do I want it in a 4-wick or a 2-wick? Okay, here's another candle that right now I have on my wish list in a 2-wick. I think I'm going to stick with it in a 2-wick. It is the fragrance Pistachio Peanut Brittle. Top notes are candied peanuts, woody vanilla, mid notes of pistachio and vanilla bean, bottom note of caramel and peanut brittle. Again, you guys, pistachio, much like cranberry, pistachio caramel sundaes nails that fragrance note every single time. I don't think I have gotten a pistachio fragrance from Caramel Sundays that I don't love. So again, I keep going back and forth. Do I want this in a 2-wick or a 4-wick? This one sounds to me like it's going to be a little bit more savory, which I do like savory notes to kind of complement more sweet notes. The other fragrance here that I have listed is a little bit sweeter, But again, I think I'm going to be okay getting this one in a 2-wick just because I do have some other good pistachio notes or pistachio candles in my collection right now that I'm like, okay, Katie, like you only have so much time to burn all of these candles. I do have to keep in mind that my mindset, I do know by the end of January, is going to shift more towards spring. I'm going to be wanting florals, and I'm going to be gravitating away from kind of like the cozy gourmand sense. So trying to keep that in mind. The other one, you guys, that I do have on my wish list in the 2-wick, I'm not even sure if I'm going to purchase this. It is the fragrance Pistachio Buttercream Waffles. Top notes of Belgian waffles, pistachio cream, mid notes of buttercream icing. Now that is in bold. I am going to talk about that here in just a moment. And then the bottom notes of spices and butter. So one of the things I said is that if you happen to have gotten the candle Halloween in their fall restock, any of their fall restocks, Pistachio Buttercream Waffles is kind of in that same family. So if you liked Halloween, you would like, they say like they're pretty confident that you're going to like the pistachio buttercream waffles. Now, the thing that I will say is that buttercream icing is emboldened there. And one of the things that I have started paying attention on the Caramel Sundays website with their fragrance notes is when they list a note in bold, that is probably going to be the most dominant note in the candle, because they did that with their, what was it, the holiday sweets, which I think is going to be coming back in a 4-wick, this restock. That to me smells like they had put like baked cinnamon buns or something like that. And that is what the note smelled like. Like that was the note that I detected the most in the holiday sweets. So I've really started paying attention when they embolden the fragrance note, because I think they're trying to tell people like this is the note that you're probably going to pick up on the most when you are burning this candle. And so the buttercream icing is what is, in my eyes, is probably going to be the most dominant note in that pistachio buttercream waffles. They do recommend, they said like a good combo pairing is going to be the pistachio peanut brittle with the pistachio buttercream waffles. So yeah, that's why like I have both of those on my wish list in a 2-wick, because I feel like they would complement each other. So I might get both of those just so that way I can burn them at the same time. You guys know I like to burn complementary fragrances in my home. So those two I think I have on my wish list in 2-wicks, so that way I can burn them at the same time. But that is what is currently on my wish list. Now I am going to say another candle that is coming back in that beautiful gold vessel is the fragrance The Holiday. You guys, if you missed out on that the first time around, I would say get it. That one I have a dedicated review on for you guys. In fact, I will make sure at the end of this video that I have my Caramel Sundays playlist linked at the end, because all of my Caramel Sundays candle reviews is on that are on that playlist, as well as any of these like wish list videos that I've done, all of my hauls. You'll find everything Caramel Sundays related in that playlist. But I did do a dedicated review on The Holiday, and you guys, that has been one of my strongest performing Caramel Sundays candles, aside from truffle butter cookie. That one was like really, really strong for me. But The Holiday is probably right up there. That one was almost a 10 for me in terms of strength and throw. It threw all throughout my house. Very similar. I would say it's done better, but if you happen to like Yankee Candle's Christmas Eve, you would like it. It is definitely like a sugar cookie. There's a little bit of like cranberry in there, but it's not overtly tart cranberry. It's like a sweet sugar cookie with a little bit of tree note, but the tree note is not overly dominating Christmas. I mentioned in my review for that candle that I think that would actually still be a great fragrance to burn throughout January and February, even year round. Truthfully, it's not anything that distinctly screams Christmas to me, but it's a really good gourmand type of fragrance. So I would highly, highly recommend The Holiday. I do think that they're also bringing that out in their fabric refresher. That fabric refresher is a really nice product, you guys. If you have fabric car seats, you can spray that in there to freshen it up. You can also use it on shower curtains, blankets, pillows, anything that is like a little bit more bulky and difficult to wash on a frequent basis. The fabric refresher is really good. So all the information that you might want to know about Caramel Sundays, if you've never shopped with them before, they do monthly restocks. It is very much Hunger Games style. I would recommend that you go over to the Caramel Sundays website to peruse and see what you are interested in. Again, make your wish list, have it ready to go, because when you get that access code to get onto the website on Sunday, you want to know what you want to get. It is not the time to peruse the website because things do sell out quite quickly. I do also recommend having a strategy of going in and maybe because all of their candles include the cost of shipping already built in, you can do multiple orders. And so what I think I'm going to do is like my number one priority, which is Winter Woods. I'm going to go in, add those to cart. I think I'm going to put Winter Woods and Salt and Cinnamon in my cart first, check out, and then go back in for Milk and Fruit Loops and Pistachio Peanut Brittle and Pistachio Buttercream Waffles, only because Milk and Fruit Loops, I have seen them restock that a couple of times, like in their spring and summer lineup. So I wouldn't feel like if I missed out on Milk and Fruit Loops this time, that's like, oh, darn it, I missed it. You know what I mean? That is something that I feel like I would be okay with, you know, if it didn't happen for me. Whereas the Salt and Cinnamon and Winter Woods, I'm not sure that those will make a return in February. So I would be like, I want to get those now. And then the Pistachio Peanut Brittle and the Pistachio Buttercream Waffles, those are on my list more so out of curiosity. Again, I wouldn't be crushed if I didn't get my hands on them. So that's kind of my strategy, and I would recommend that you have a strategy as well as you are going into shopping for the restock. Other things that I wanted to say: sign up for their rewards program. You do accrue some points, and you can redeem points for, I believe, up to 15% off of your order. So you want to be aware of that. And again, if you are unfamiliar with Caramel Sundays, they are a small business based out of Monroe, Georgia, that they pride themselves on creating non-tox 100% soy wax candles. I can't remember what the organization is, but I did mention this in one of my reviews. My sister, I'm not like throwing her under the bus or anything like that, but my sister is what I would consider to be a very crunchy individual. She's very concerned about the ingredients in chemicals, in her household cleaning products, in candles and stuff like that. She's very concerned about that. And I actually purchased her, I think it was called Winter Flannel, which is their version of Bath and Body Works Sweater Weather in the last restock, because she has always said she misses the fragrance of Sweater Weather. She loves that scent, but she can't do Bath and Body Works candles because of all of the toxins, right? It gives her a headache. It legitimately does give her a headache. And so last restock, I went ahead and I purchased her Winter Flannel, had it sent to her house. She tried it and she told me, she said, this candle smells amazing. It's not giving me a headache. My air filter is not going off. I know Sierra had posted about their air filter and how it even backs up that the quality of the candles, like, it's good, you guys. There's no toxins or anything like that. So all of that to say, if you are somebody or you know somebody who is very hesitant about the ingredients in a lot of these candles, Caramel Sundays passes the test, you guys. And yeah, my sister was very, very happy with the candle that I bought her. She doesn't watch my stuff. I'm actually contemplating sending her a Winter Woods because I think that she would like that fragrance as well. I might do that as like a little delayed Christmas gift for her. But anyways, you guys, love the brand. I've been shopping with them for a year. I know here on YouTube, other people have said that it's not a brand for them, and that's totally fine. You know, everybody can have their opinions. The thing that I will say on that, and I've said this before, I personally, you guys, if you're here on my channel, you guys know I prefer soy wax. I prefer cleaner ingredients. I feel like comparing 100% soy wax clean ingredient candles to brands, say like Bath and Body Works and Goose Creek, are comparing apples to oranges. Quite frankly, they use different ingredients. They have different, the different wax formulas, and you're going to get a very different product, and or a different output. For me personally, I like what I've gotten. Pretty much every brand that I've shopped from has their hits and misses, but for me, on the whole, I've been happy shopping with Caramel Sundays. I've had more hits than misses for me personally, and I continue to give them my business. But I do just always want to put that out there, you guys. If you are somebody who wants really strong, I'm going to say this in a way that I don't know if it'll ruffle some feathers. If you're somebody who prefers really artificial smelling type of stuff, synthetic oils or whatnot, because they are stronger, they give you that like smack you in the face. Soy wax candles, brands like Kringle and Caramel Sundays might not be your cup of tea. But again, if you're somebody maybe that you're starting to experience some allergies from burning those candles or whatnot, then you might want to give soy wax candles a try, or cleaner ingredient candles a try. They are a little bit more money. I'm not gonna negate that fact. But for me personally, you guys, I have mentioned this several times. With the amount of candles that I am burning in my household, I am concerned about ingredients, and that is why I have shifted a lot of my candle burning to caramel sundaes and Kringle, because I do prefer soy wax formulas. I do prefer clean air ingredients. So that is that. That is my little soapbox. I'll go ahead and get off of that right now, but do always want to put that out there in case, because again, I know that there's a variety of reviewers here on YouTube who have given some mixed reviews, but that is where I am coming from when I give a lot of positive reviews to these candles. So anyways, you guys, let me know in the comment section down below if any of these are on your wish list, or what is on your caramel sundaes wish list this go around. I would be curious to know. Again, hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.